Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Clock, and I'm your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia. I'm coming to you today with one of my favorite stamp sets that I really haven't played with much, but the good news is this is going to carry over from our mini catalog. So I will have lots of opportunities to use it. But up until now, our focus has been Christmas. But I wanted to kind of switch gears and talk to you about using this Light the Sky stamp set and dies for New Year's and beyond. So let me take a look at what we've got. So this is our Light the Sky stamp set. And I love it because although it does have the wishing you a happy new year, it's got other great ones. Congratulations on your big day. Somebody's retiring, got engaged, got a promotion. You know, it's a great sentiment. Let's celebrate. Perfect. Birthdays, anniversaries, whatever you want. 4th of July, if you want to do something a little patriotic, this is going to be a great stamp set to use really throughout the year. And right now in the mini catalog, it's available as a bundle, which means you can get the stamp set and matching dies for 10% off when you buy them together. When it carries over, it will not be a bundle. It will be an individual purchase. So you won't get that 10% savings. So we've got some here that you can cut out the stamped image. And then we've also just got these other little accent dies that are great. I really haven't played with these yet because it's, a couple of days before Christmas and, we're wrapping and shopping and cooking and all that good stuff. So I'm thinking the week between Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to be playing with this die set. But I wanted to show you just so you knew if you wanted to get this. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit. You can still get these as a bundle and save that 10%. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do today. We're going to do 2 cards. The first one, as always, is going to be our simple stamping card. And I'm just going to use a variety of ink colors to really just create a fun, colorful, festive card. And you could say, let's celebrate and just put happy birthday inside. I decided to go with Happy New Year because I've got a couple of folks that I want to send out a Happy New Year card to. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that one. And then we're going to step it up. And we're going to use those gorgeous Radiating Stitches dies. Now, I wanted to use gold foil sheets, which I didn't have. So this is a discontinued brushed gold, brushed metallics. I'm out of my gold foil sheets, so I need to buy them. And then I've done some heat embossing. And then we just kind of spruced up the inside with just some really colorful fireworks on the inside. So let's go ahead and get started with our first card, which is going to be our simple stamping card. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. This is the piece for the inside. So I'm going to stamp here. I'm using Starry Sky because my card base is going to be Starry Sky. So I'm going to stamp Wishing You a Happy New Year in our Starry Sky. And then I'm going to come in here with our Sweet Sorbet. Now these, both Starry Sky and Sweet Sorbet, are our 2022-2024 in colors, which will be going away in May. So if you like these colors, this is your last chance to kind of get them and use them. All right, I'm just going to kind of stamp that right there. So that's our inside. Now let's go and stamp our outside. So this is a piece of basic white. This is 5 by 3 3/4 because I'm going to layer that on top of a piece of boho blue, another retiring color in May. That is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're just going to kind of layer those on. And then we've got our Starry Sky scored base at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to stamp. I want to stamp that great big firework in our Starry Sky. I'm going to kind of stamp this off center. And then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to stamp just some other fireworks, different sizes in all the colors I've got here. So I've got, and some will be on the paper, some will be off the paper. So we've got our Sweet Sorbet. I think I pulled out Lemon Lime Twist. I'm going to add some of this and some of that. Okay. And as you can see, we're just going to kind of fill up this card with a whole bunch of fireworks. Okay, and again, it doesn't really matter which way. I think this is fresh freesia. Okay, maybe we'll put a little more over there. And then I'm going to just kind of fill in some of that white space. I've got some crushed curry, and we've got this little tiny one. And we're just going to kind of add that in some crushed curry. And it doesn't matter if they kind of overlap, right? It's fine. Okay, so that's it. So then I've got that, and then I've got a piece, I had a piece of basic white cardstock, which now escapes me to stamp our little sentiment on. Where did that little piece go? All right, we will get another little piece because I really did have it. I had everything all together, but I want to stamp that Let's Celebrate. Okay, and again, these scraps are perfect for that. I'm going to bring in our Starry Sky again. I'm going to stamp our Let's Celebrate. Okay. And then I'm going to just kind of clip it on an angle. Now, I don't want to put that on there as just plain white. So here's my little trick. When I don't have my daubers handy, I just kind of dip my edges in my ink pad. Okay, and that adds just a tiny bit of color to the edge of my sentiment. And now that will make it stand out against that basic white just a little better. All right, let's go ahead and put our card together. All right, so let's go ahead. We've got our inside piece. Let's go ahead and put our inside piece in. Okay. And I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus. That is one of my favorite adhesives. Don't really like the Stampin' Seal so much. It just doesn't work well for me. All right, so I'm going to take our piece here, our piece white, and we're going to put that on our boho blue layer. Okay. And then we are going to add this to our card front. So what other holidays, what other things can you see yourself using this stamp set for? I mean, I'm definitely going to use it to make some patriotic cards, to write notes to our veterans for our Top of Virginia honor flights. They do a mail call on those honor flights. So I certainly think that would be an appropriate stamp set to use for that. All right, now I'm going to take our sentiment, if I can pick it up, and I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Just going to use 2. All right, get that out of the way. Trying to keep things down to a kind of a dull roar here. It's kind of messy over here. All right, and then, so there's our first card. Let's celebrate. Happy New Year. So oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Oh. All right. Let me give me. All right. I think we're back. Nope, we're not. Let's see if that will work. Hopefully. Okay, I got all kinds of things happening here on my computer right now. I don't even know what's going on. We're going to give this a try, and hopefully we can get through our second card. All right. So for our second card, I'm starting with a piece of basic black for our card base. So this one I cut to 11 by 4 1/4. So it's going to open up that way in our portrait mode. Okay, let me just kind of burnish that a little bit better. And I've got a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. I had our gold foil sheets. This is a discontinued brushed gold. This was 4 by 5 1/4. and I used our Radiating Stitches dies. Isn't that pretty? To kind of give me that little border. And then I've got here a piece of basic white that is 4 1/8 by 2 3/4. Okay, so let's go ahead. This we're going to stamp with our Versamark, and let me clean off the stamps that I'm going to use because we don't want to cross-contaminate our ink pads, right? You always got to clean off everything because you don't want to get like colored ink on my Versamark pad. All right, so those are the two. Let me just, while we're there, let me just clean off the rest of these because why not? This way we can take just a minute, but it's always good to clean your stamps as you go. Again, because, you know, if you want to use a different color, you definitely don't want to cross-contaminate your ink pads and get, you know, especially if you're using like a darker color and then a lighter color. So always take a minute to clean off your stamps. All right. So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use our Emboss Buddy. And this kind of helps remove static and supposed to prevent the embossing powder from sticking in places where you don't want it to stick. Doesn't always work that way, but that's the theory. I don't know, somehow I always seem to make a mess with it. Okay, so I'm going to stamp "Have a Happy New Year" on the bottom here. Okay, have a happy new year. I'm going to try to get this straight, but I didn't do such a hot job last time getting it straight. And then we're going to stamp the big firework in our embossing Versamark. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of put this up over here. The only problem with Versamark is that you can't really see it. It's hard. All right, so now I'm going to pull in my embossing tray. And I've kind of already got some powder on there. So I'm just going to kind of put it around, but that's not going to work. We're going to try. All right, so put some new embossing powder on there. Problem was I was having a problem picking this up last time. Okay, there we go. You want to handle it by the edges because you don't really want to get Wishing You is not going to come out well. You know what, folks? I'm going to cut another piece real quick because I don't like the way that came out. So, you said this was 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. I don't know what happened to that. Wishing. Let's do this. Let's try inking this up again. I don't know where I put my Versamark ink pad. There it is. All right. Let's stamp. See? Doesn't always come out right the first time. Now we've got that. Now let's come back in here with our Wishing You a Happy New Year. Okay. Again, going to try to get this on there straight. Okay. All right. Now let's go back over here. Okay. And let me put some embossing powder on here. Ooh. No, I forgot to use the embossing buddy on this. See? You always forget something. All right, let me see if I can just move that out of the way for now. And take my little brush, just kind of brush some of this off where I don't want it to be. All right, well, the new year is, I don't know why that new year's all messed up. And it needs a little bit more embossing powder on there. Maybe that'll help it. Or not. We'll see. Well, this is going to be, it's going to be good enough for now. All right. So now I'm going to hold it. All right. I got my little reverse tweezers there to help me hold it because it's going to be hot. So it's going to be noisy for a minute. I'm going to try to do this on screen. You'll know that it's setting when your embossing powder gets shiny. So it's kind of hard to see sometimes, but I kind of go from both the top and the bottom to try to help it not get so bent. But yeah, like I said, once it starts to get shiny, then you'll know that your embossing powder is set. Okay, there, see how it's getting shiny on the new year? Okay. Flip here and work on our firework. Okay. Definitely want to have like a tweezer or like one of those clip type clothespins to kind of help you hold it, because otherwise it gets really hot on your fingers, the heat tool. All right, that's all set. We've got that. Now I wanted to add just a splash of color to this. So I took our sweet sorbet and I took our smallest little firework and I just kind of added like just little pops of color because it's kind of a basic card. So I just wanted to add a little pop of color. And now we're ready to put this card together. Well, let's do one more thing. Let's go ahead and add some fireworks to the inside. And these I'm all going to kind of stamp so that they're really almost off the card. So I just want to add just a little bit of color along the top. So I'm not going to put very much on there, but I'm using, this is lemon lime twist. I used fresh freesia. And let's go back in here with our sweet sorbet to kind of tie in that front piece. Okay, there we go. So now we've added just a little bit of color to the inside of our card. I kind of like to do that. And of course, if we had our envelopes here, we could actually add some fireworks to the back of our envelopes or the front of our envelopes, just to kind of really jazz it all up. Do I have an envelope? I do have. I don't. They're not. No, they are open. Okay, well, let's go see. All right. So here's what you should do is, if you want to do this, I'm going to throw this in here because I have, this is just a piece of some scrap paper that I had. So let's say I want to add some fireworks to the back of my envelope flap, right? I'm just going to go ahead and add some of these. And that's the reason why I put that paper there, so it doesn't go on the bottom of my envelope. And I'm just going to throw some fireworks on here, right? Just to make it fun. Who doesn't like fun? We like fun. Sort of a plain old boring envelope. Right, and let's see. Let's add some of that fresh freesia. Oh boy. All right, I like it. So now we've got our envelope. And we could really use this for either card, right? Because we kept all the colors pretty much the same. So there we have it. There we go. All right, so let's put our card together. Let's move this out of the way. Okay. Going to put our inside piece in. So what do you think? Is this a set that you would like? I think it's going to be a fun set. I'm really excited that it is carrying over. Like I said, just not as a bundle. So you have until, I think, January 3rd to get it. And I definitely have to go on and order some gold foil sheets because I'm out. It's always good to have some gold foil. You never know when you want to just kind of jazz things up with a little bit of a metallic pop. All right, and now this I'm going to add with some dimensionals, and I'm using our black Stampin' dimensionals just because I had them and they were handy. So good when you're working with like darker color cardstock. Okay, not that I expect that these will really be seen, but I never really use them. So I'm like, you know what? I've got them. Let's use them. I'm using black card base. All right, and then this will fit right in that radiating, right around those radiating stitches will come right out around it. And that is our second card, our stepped up card. We've done heat embossing, we've done some die cutting, and that's it. And then we had, like I said, we had our stuff out of the way. Our simple stamping card, right? Where we just used a variety of colors and the different firework sizes to kind of make that happen. And then we added kind of a fun little envelope that we can use with either card. So that's it for me for this edition. Thank you so much. I wish you and your families a very, very Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Enjoy the holidays. I hope you get to spend it with everyone that you love and is important to you. I will see you next week. In the meantime, happy stamping. Bye.